Welcome to episode 318 of the Working Fans Podcast.
Woo!
We've been swapping different people in and out. We're using the Freebird rule, or what we're going to call it the Working Fans rule.
Yeah.
Because last weekend there was so much wrestling business to attend to. We can't wait till we can show off the New Heights wrestling business we've been working on. But one thing we can and will show you is last weekend we attended WrestleVania. We got a couple of interviews. We were able to bring AJ Strange Brew with us. Dave, quick rundown of the show. What did you think? Another great card from OWR, frankly.
Yeah. You know, the only thing is, like, from our perspective, is that we're always trying to, like, work and, you know, deal whatever we're doing. So we don't always get to see all the matches. So I will tell you, the pumpkin patch match was a lot of fun. That was the first.
I'm proud for part of that one. That was great.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So that was cool. As you'll see when we release the videos, you know, we got to talk to the chop guy, Chris, who goes around getting chops and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was a cool experience. Excuse me. The main event, though, Shane Mercer and Jay Onyx, like, that was definitely the highlight for me. Like, I really enjoyed watching Shane wrestle. I like that he's this hybrid wrestle of, like, high impact power moves, but also has a catch as catch can style, you know, little things. I told him, like, I never seen anybody work the wrist like Regal and then punch the guy's hand. You know, it's just a little thing, but I'm like, and then he does like a spot in a match where it's almost like a Dr. Death stampede, but he goes outside and runs with him all the way to the other cross, like the basketball court where we kind of station up and power slams them into the, you know, the mats. It's crazy. Like, he is a fantastic wrestler. I'd like to see this guy in an NXT or AEW or something like that, or Impact, but I'd really like to see him somewhere else shining.
He deserves to be on a bigger stage. We've seen him in GCW. We've seen him all over the indies. Amazing talent. It was great to be able to watch that match from the side with the owner too, and kind of see how he's reacting, and being able to watch that while watching the crowd. Aside from us forgetting a mic cable at home and having to run home, that was the only stress of the night, but everything else about it was great. And going from WrestleVania, I want to talk a little bit about their next event coming up, because Cruel Intentions is happening November 8th. It's going to be Cruel versus Mr. James. I don't know if you saw, but there's an OWR title match. Steve Off is going to be wrestling Jay Onyx. So that's two big matches already announced. I'm pushing my vacation back a week to be able to go to that event. If you haven't gone to an OWR show, I highly recommend it. They offer tickets for veterans. A lot of their shows too go to benefit somebody. Last show, they benefited a friend's child with leukemia. Yes. This show, the proceeds are going to pay off a woman's funeral. So, you know, big things happening there.
Real community. A lot of the stuff they do locally for people. The vendors that come in a lot of times are local, like people baking homemade cookies and stuff. We saw that come in, and handmade crafts. And it's a real cool environment at one of these shows.
Yeah, they're really building their audience. And we urge you, if you're in the Eastern Connecticut area, they're affordable tickets. It's a fun night. It's not a super long show. Every show seems to fly by. I don't know if it's just because we're having so much fun or if it's the work aspect, but you have to check them out. Outcast Wrestling Revolution.
Best pizza at an independent wrestling show I ever had.
Yeah, shout out to Nino's Pizzeria. And we're going to go from, I don't know what to say about this, Dave. This was a short that blew up for us last week. Yeah. And I was interested in, what do you think really connected with the people to make so many people view this, so many people comment? It's a great matchup.
You know, views are one thing. You never know what's going to really take off and what's not. But all the interaction in the comments, I would say, is because if you look at this, is this really an old school versus a new school kind of vibe? And like the Usos are probably the top team of the modern era. You can argue different teams like New Days, the Young Bucks, FTR, but the Usos, they've main evented WrestleMania. They've had the longest reigning championship reigns. They've been in this position so many times. You can really say they're the face of the modern era. And the Road Warriors are still considered by many to be the greatest tag team of all time. I actually recently heard Tommy Dreamer say on Busted Open that you have to consider the Hardy Boys the greatest tag team of all time now, after them winning the NXT tag titles the other night. And obviously the Hardys, longevity, they're in the argument too. But man, so are these two. So I think this is what really just resonated with people, why we got so many comments on it, because, this is a competitive debate. And it's really on what you grew up on, probably. If you grew up on the Usos, then they're probably your team. If you grew up on the Road Warriors, they're probably your team. Although I did have a few old school guys told me that they love the Road Warriors, but, the Usos are a better team. Well, that's a matter of opinion.
I mean, I grew up on the Road Warriors, but when I got back into wrestling, it was really kind of the Usos that got me as a tag team. Back then they were wearing the bright colors, doing the native dance as they came out. Yes. But they've really come into their own as they've gone on. They got Jay to a world championship, which was wild. And they're really one of those charismatic teams. But I mean, growing up with the Road Warriors, that was the badass team from when we were kids. There was also the Miracle Violence connection. There was the Steiner brothers, but there was something about the Road Warriors that had that aura, that they were badass, that they were the ones to beat. And they were the first, one of the first tag teams to really go around the world and get championships from different promotions.
I don't think there was a more consistent main event tag team in North America from the 80s and the 90s than the Road Warriors, where if you look at tag team main events of a pay-per-view, which didn't happen a lot, but when they did, a lot of times they involved the Road Warriors.
Yeah, and I think about teams that have gone from like other promotions to the WWE, how sometimes there's changes to the way they are, how sometimes their presentation hurts them. The Road Warriors, they got a little bit of that WWE magic. But even like Rocco the Doll didn't seem to hurt them. You know what I mean? Like they stayed pretty much who they were when they came in and didn't lose any of that luster.
Well.
And Dave, this is an early show tomorrow. Anytime they do something in Australia, we will be doing a live watch along for Bound for Glory, by the way. Unless something happens and then it just ain't happening. But something we are not doing a watch along for is Crown Jewel Perth. This is going on at 8 a.m. Dave, is this on Peacock or is this just on ESPN?
Oh, that's a good question here.
Because I don't even know if I'm going to be watching it if I'm up and ready to try and watch it.
Interesting. I had assumed... now I'm going to type this in real quick, Joe. All right,
well, Dave's Googling that. A lot of matches have come together for Crown Jewel Perth. It's another weekend where we're really getting, this isn't as much head-to-head, but we are getting two shows in a weekend. And remember when it was like one pay-per-view every couple months when we were younger? And now when it's pay-per-view time, there's 2 or 3 in a weekend. And there might be 2 weekends in that month where there's 2 or 3 pay-per-views. So we've really got a spoil of riches right now with that.
So the first couple of things that pop up here, an AI overview, which says you can watch them on the ESPN app with ESPN Unlimited subscription. And then there's an ESPN press room, WWE Crown Jewel, streaming exclusively on ESPN app. How to watch WWE Crown Jewel Perth on ESPN. So
it sounds like they've gone to ESPN, so I will not be watching then.
Yeah. So I'll have to download the app on my phone. Might have to talk to member of the Working Fans podcast, AJ, who actually has ESPN Unlimited, and find out his login information, because I have it too, but since he had it, he got a deal on it. I was just gonna use his, but I want to have it on my phone, brother.
All right, well, let's get to some predictions for this card, because I don't know which card looks better. Maybe we can debate that at the end. But Dave, what do you have for Crown Jewel Perth?
All right, Crown Jewel Perth. Only 5 matches, so you gotta like that. We'll call it the opening match. We'll see. But Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. Kind of fun because Bronson Reed's from Australia. Bronson Reed kind of been getting the better of Roman. He did lose the last match, but then he left Roman on a stretcher. My guess is Roman's going to just shine here. It should be a fun match, but Roman's going over.
Yeah, I can't see Roman losing it unless it's like pushing some kind of story forward. Otherwise, it's got to be Roman going over, overcoming the beast in his home territory.
Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. I'm going to go with Ripley and Sky to get the win, especially Ripley being from Australia as well.
Yeah, if it wasn't in Australia, I would say Kabuki Warriors. But if you're going to have Bronson Reed lose in his home country, you can't have Rhea Ripley lose as well.
I agree. John Cena, AJ Styles. That should be a fun match. I got to believe after the way Lesnar handled Cena, Cena's going to bounce back with a victory here to keep the feel good going until the very end, at least.
That's interesting. Because it's in Australia, so it could, it's not like Cena has to win. He only has a couple more appearances. You got to feel like after being devastated by Brock, he's going to come back. I'm going to say AJ Styles gets the win, and it leads to a Cena that's desperate for a win in his hometown for the last time.
We shall see. Stephanie McCurry versus Tiffany Stratton for the Crown Jewel Championship.
I'm ready for this match. If you had told me a couple years ago that I'd be excited for a Tiffany Stratton match, I would have laughed.
Yeah,
but I'm ready for this one.
She won us over in Bridgeport, I believe.
Yeah, she really showed out there. But in the words of Booker T, yeah, man, I like it. Stephanie Vickers got to get the win.
And Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. This is for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship. Cody's 3-0 against Seth. They've really put over that Seth needs to get the win, and they backed him into a corner. So I was really feeling like it would still be the monkey on his back. But something tells me Seth's going to find a way to cheat a victory here, possibly.
That's what I was thinking as well. It'd be great to have Cody get another win, be like that dominant current babyface. But Seth's desperate. He's got muscle behind him. There's going to be some kind of cheat to win, and Seth's going to come out on top.
And that might lead to Cody and, Roman and Jay and some of the bloodline versus Seth and his crew for maybe for Survivor Series War Games, so maybe that's part of that too. So we shall see.
Yeah, another thing we shall see. And I think I'm a little more excited for Bound for Glory than I am Crown Jewel. And it's not just the fact that I'm definitely watching Bound for Glory and I may be watching Crown Jewel. There's been so much intertwining of NXT and TNA that TNA is in a really good spot. And I feel like this event is going to kick off like a big 2026 for them, or set up a big 2026.
Pre-show match. The Inspiration are defending the Knockouts Tag Team titles against the Elegance. Heather by Elegance and M by Elegance. So I'll go with the Inspiration here, but that's the pre-show match, is the Knockout Tag titles.
Yeah, I'll go with the Inspiration as well. Ash by Elegance stepped away from wrestling. We didn't get to talk about that. I believe you talked about it with AJ.
Yes.
Kind of surprising. It's kind of open-ended. Is it forever? Is it just for now? I don't know how that Elegance tag team is going to do without her, and that's kind of why I don't see them getting the win here.
Yeah, same. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well, is without Ash that, I don't feel like the act is the same.
Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. This is their first real. I haven't watched the week-to-week TV, but this is the first pay-per-view appearance that they make a mark without her.
Now, this is the match that I would say maybe has me the most excited. And it really is the big difference in this whole pay-per-view. But X Division Championship, Leon Slater defending against Javon Evans. This is going to be a hell of a match. I believe Leon might even got the pin on Javon in the tag match on NXT the other night. I'm going to go with Javon. I think Javon's going to actually, I wasn't going to pick him, but I am now. I think Javon's going to pull off the upset here and win the X Division Championship.
I know when you started, I was thinking who's going to get hurt in this match? What are we going to see? But this is a great way for Javon to get a title, get time with one, and he's going to show out. Both these guys are 21. This is going to be an athletic match. You kind of talked me into Javon Evans for this one.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have TNA winning some WWE matches and getting some of those titles back, but I think this will be one for WWE NXT. Now, there's also a Call Your Shot intergender 20-person Call Your Shot gauntlet. The winner receives a trophy and contract they can invoke anytime within 1 year for a championship match of their choosing. So I can't think of anybody. I don't know anybody who's in this right now.
Yeah, I haven't watched the week-to-week TV, so it's not like I could have a name or two that I could pick out that, this would be a good candidate. Yeah. This sounds like it's going to be a fun match. It sounds something that could bring me into watching the weekly TV.
I'll say an NXT talent wins this. How about that? Just to continue as we build up.
I'll go with the TNA talent.
Okay.
We'll keep it broad.
Tessa Blanchard versus Gia Miller. Gia Miller is the announcer. And I know they've had some issues. That's a weird matchup. Something's got to happen. This has got to be some kind of angle they end up doing. This is the question: is Tessa going to lose? I'll go there and put it. They'll find a way to put Gia over, and then Tessa goes off. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll go Gia.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen some of this interaction. I feel like something happened on the last pay-per-view.
Yes, that I saw. That's where it started.
The talent. I'm very surprised this is a match, and I'm surprised I care as little as I do about it. So we'll say Gia, sure.
Frankie Kazarian versus Steve Macklin. Frankie defending the TNA International Championship. So Frankie is defending against the former champion Steve Macklin. Frankie just got this title. I'm going to say Frankie keeps it.
I'm going to go. This is going to be a good match, but I'm going to go Steve Macklin.
All right, we got a 10-person intergender hardcore war. Intergender matches all over this show. The System, Moose, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and JDC versus Order 4, Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steeles, Special Agent Zero, Jason Hotch, and John Schuyler. I'll go with the System.
I'm going Order 4. I feel like Mustafa Ali, his team is going to get the win.
Kalani Jordan defends the NXT Knockouts title against Indy Hartwell. I'm going Indy. I'll say Kalani.
TNA Knockouts title.
What's that? TNA Knockouts title.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go Indy. I think this is her moment. I think Kalani is more of a transitional champion because they had to do something when Ash by Elegance got hurt. And Masa Slamovich obviously wasn't going to be put in that spot either after everything that happened recently. So I feel like, Indy's going to take it, and this will be her big moment at Bound for Glory.
Yeah, it's a good way to get the TNA title back to them because that's what's weird is there's so many TNA titles on NXT talent that you feel like something's got to move, and that's going to get even more complicated later.
All right. The Hardys, are defending.
I was thinking about.
They're defending the TNA World and the NXT Tag Team Championship against Team 3D, Bully Ray and Devon. This says one final table. So I thought it was a ladder match as well. Doesn't matter because it can be a ladder, it could be a table. The Hardys are winning here. The Hardys are going over. This is more about Devon getting one more moment with Bully Ray, but this is not going to be about them in the end. This is a moment to help put the Hardys over, I believe, and the Hardys are going to keep on rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to pick the Hardys, but for a different reason, just because what do you do with the championships once Team 3D has them?
Right.
I don't see them wrestling again to defend them. You know, they could give it up and it could be a tournament, but that feels like a cheap way to do the championship. The better way is have it on the Hardys, and then that next big tag team that's coming up in NXT can take it off them. This was announced as a tables match, you know, kind of one final one. It's going to be the Hardys all day. I can't wait to see it. I just hope that Team 3D lives up to the expectation we have for them.
All right. And in the main event, Mike Santana wrestling Trick Williams for the TNA World Championship. This is Mike Santana's time. He's going to win this title. He's walking out with the gold, and TNA is going to have their moment at Bound for Glory.
I would be very surprised if Santana doesn't get this championship here. It's been like 2 or 3 events in a row that we thought it was his time. It didn't happen. It's the last big event of the year. Santana's got to come out on top.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if Ricky Starks gets involved. Trick Williams did walk out on Team NXT, leaving Ricky by himself. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do something with that. But at the end of it, no matter how we get there, Santana is going to be the one with the gold. I believe that 100%.
100%. A lot of wrestling this weekend. Let us know in the comments what you're enjoying. Watch us with the watch along this weekend if it happens. And as always, please, if you enjoy what you saw, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, even just comment. A comment goes a long way for getting our stuff to be seen by more people. And here's some stuff that we'd like to see. Here's some more stuff we'd like you to see. Author Ray Lopez presents Lockup, professional wrestling in our world. Lockup dives headfirst into the colorful world of professional wrestling. Explore the iconic characters, careers, matches, history, and families, and delve into the bizarre and fascinating entwining of professional wrestling and film, television, football, politics, gender, and race. Pre-orders are available now on Amazon.com or at MascotBooks.com. This is the perfect gift for the wrestling fan in your life. Pick up a copy today on Amazon.com or at MascotBooks.com.
Hey, all you goddamn wrestling fans out there, listen, old black part has got a book. It's called Wrestle. Black Bart. It's got some dadgum good stories in there about some dadgum good wrestlers.
Read stories of Dusty Rhodes, the Von Erich, Scott Casey, Sergeant Slaughter, Roddy Piper, Mr. Fuji, Ron Bass, Bruiser Brody, Mike Davis, the Grappler, and many others.
And I guarantee you one thing, that it'll be the best dadgum read you've had in a long, long time.
Get your book today at Russellville.com or on Amazon. Russellville, it's where wrestling lives.
Hey fans, it's the man they call Dave with producer Joe. And you probably know us as the commentary team for New Heights Pro Wrestling. But when we're not doing that, we got a podcast.
That is the Working Fans Podcast, where we talk pro wrestling, comedy, MMA, and so much more.
And tell them about that signature segment.
Oh, you talk about the 531?
You know I am.
That is a homegrown creation that has been our namesake. And if you want to know our namesake, we got Chevy, AJ Strange Brew, as well as the two of us.
And why don't you go to our channel, like, subscribe, show us some love.
Rate, review, all of it.
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Russellville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Russellville.com. Russellville. It's where wrestling lives.